and welcome to the Chronicle podcast. This is Samuel Lyon. It's another all new episode here for us. I'm elated. I'm proud to talk to the next person that you'll be seeing on screen. This is one of the sessions that kicking off 6 years ago. I always knew I needed to talk to personalities that speak to me and personalities that are doing great things out there. And this next guest is none that your mind will be going crazy for. So joining me on the podcast virtually is a guest who has absolutely redefined what it means to be a multifaceted artist. My God, she's a writer, she's an event host, a voice-over actor. She is the creative force behind the Diary of Wine Addict podcast and an award winning, you heard that right, an award winning show that launched February 15, 2023. Last year, she literally single handedly shifted the culture by winning the next big podcaster award at the Podfest Niger 2025, taking home a 1 million naira from Study Mark. So please, without further ado, make welcome the unconventional, the brilliant, the very much esteemed Pearly Hart.
Mm.
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited having you.
I'm
I'm so
so
excited having you on
excited.
your welcome onto the
Same
podcast.
here.
How you doing?
Thank you so much. That intro was something else. So magnificent, really
I'm,
good. And I like the fact that you said award winning twice, like for the people at the back.
I mean,
Thank
obviously sometimes you need to say it out loud again and
Yeah.
You know what? Doing a solo episode at the Chronicle Podcast is so. Oh, you never know what to expect in the Chronicle Podcast. Wow. Drip and play. They sent us a gift. Wow. Elevate your look, dominate the game. Let's see what they got for us. Our friends at Drip and Play always sending us things. Sorry for interrupting the episode, but we need to inform you that something great is happening here in the city of Calabar. They can send it to you nationwide, so don't worry about how am I going to get the thing. I love what you people have. I love this look. What is this? Let's see what we have. Oh wow, this is something very unique. I like the details. If you're someone that loves something that is unique, this is for you. And I love how they know what I might like. I love this brand. They know what to do. This is incredible. What is this? Okay, this is for my sports people that love sports. The embroidery is not even embroidered, like it's done in it. And I know I'm interrupting your episode, but with all I'm trying to say, these are the kind of packages you get. Tell them you are from Hello Media. Samuel Lion sent you the Chronicle Podcast, all the episodes you have here. So Drip and Play, their QR code for their WhatsApp, the QR code for their TikTok is available here. Their numbers are displayed here. I'm trying to get that ready. Please support Drip and Play. Go check them out, and they actually send it to you nationwide. Back to the episode.
Yeah. Thank you so
yeah,
much for having me.
thank you so much for coming on. And one thing on the podcast here is I always like to break the fourth wall. And one of the things I need to give the information on here is Belly Hat is when I say she's brilliant, she is. I
Um,
came, a friend of mine, Gideon Umera on
okay.
Instagram.
Okay.
I believe everywhere else
Okay.
is Gideon Umera. So Gideon Umera
Okay.
came across, I believe he came across it on his FYP on Instagram, and he sent it a screenshot to me and sent me the link on the direct message on Instagram, and I
Yeah.
checked it out. And now I need to tell you why I said I should be the one to tell you thank you, because this
Okay.
was even before I saw the video you made, the video that you posted to advertise this year's
Yeah.
Podfest.
Podcast
Now
Ninja.
I
Yeah.
saw the link, I checked it out, and going through the form, I was about to text him back. The first thing I'm like, I don't think I deserve to even register for this. And I'm like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I've even done enough. Yes, I've had 6 years in the game, but this is the first time in 7 months, the first time in six
Mm-hmm.
years that I've gone all in consistently. So since December 2025 to as of now June 2026, 7 months I've
Yeah.
been putting out videos both virtually and getting physical
Mm-hmm.
episodes shot. So I'm like, is it going to be enough to even register to you? Even, I mean, nobody's gonna notice me. But I sat down there, I looked at that email. The fact that someone else had to send this to me, and I'm like, maybe let me just do that. I just filled out the form, successfully filled out the
Mm-hmm.
form, sent it over, and before you know
Yay.
what's going on, I went on. I said, okay, let me follow. Let me go check them out. I checked out the page on Instagram. I came across the post for about you.
Video.
I
Yeah.
I I followed you. I that was the first time I watched the video, and you said something in the video
Oh,
where like I know you. Some of you that feel like oh you are not enough or you think this might not be something for you. Da, 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 can you just do it? And I'm like,
yeah.
wow. I was grateful I was able to send that out, and instantly I followed you. I followed your podcast page.
Oh,
I followed
yeah.
your. I mean, we're gonna talk about your NGO. I followed everything, and I'm like, I
Okay.
reached out direct. I was just
Oh,
hoping
you
that you
did. You
text back.
followed my NGO. That's nice. I didn't even know
I followed
that.
that she mentioned. I followed everywhere,
Oh
and
my
even
God.
before this, and instantly I texted and I was waiting. I think a couple of days or maybe that same day you texted back, and I was like, wow. And we hit. I started texting and I told you, I just let you know like I would love to have you on, and we planned to get this done a couple of days ago. And
Yes,
when
we
the
did.
day for this is me still breaking the fourth wall. When the day for the shoots came
Mhm.
in, I will tell you more on this, but to just say a little bit of that. I texted you
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm under the weather. Can we do a rain check? And I'm like, okay, cool. And now we are
Yeah.
here because today we're
We're
getting this
here.
done. And I'm just trying to not try to blow smoke off your ass, but literally try to give you your flowers because sometimes
Oh,
it's
thank you so
crazy.
much.
It's social media. It's 2026, and there's a lot going on
Mhm.
in the world. People might not want to interact with somebody strange on social media. Like you might have a profile I know, but somebody might not just want to engage. But you did that.
Yeah.
Sometimes in my own mind, I'm like, you have no right to even be here right now, but you are taking time out to get this done
Mhm.
with me. For that, I'm saying thank you so very much. And I just wanted to give you your flowers and break the
Oh,
fourth
thank
wall
you
to
so
say
much,
she made this,
Cyril.
she
I'm
made this
blushing. I don't know
happen.
if you can see. Thank you.
For to introduce her once again, the award-winning, Belly Hat. Welcome to the podcast.
My
Win.
glass of
Welcome
wine
to the
here
podcast, and I'm
because
so
I
excited
have
to.
my glass of wine here. So
I mean,
that
come
is
on.
what I added. I have to
I
drop
couldn't
it
do
down.
wine. I can't do wine with you, so I'm having water
Okay,
here.
that's fine. Cheers. Cheers with your water. Mhm.
All right, so Pelly Hat, I just looking at your bio, everything, you describing yourself as a sapiophile and an unconventional weirdo, and
Yes. Oh
for
my God.
someone that whose podcast is that thrives on relatability and laugh with me, cry with me moments. What is like
Yes.
the most unconventional thing you've done so far to be able to push this out there and to be able to represent yourself to because I mean it's a whole lot and I really wanted to start off there by asking like is that unconventional thing that helps you prepare to
Yeah.
step no to stepping in behind the mic.
Okay, thank you. For that unconventional, when I speak of unconventional, it's in terms of my opinions. Like when
Mm,
we're having a conversation, for instance, I'm that kind of person to not follow the norm. I have my own unique
okay.
opinions. I'm not trying to say that I'm subjective, but I do have my own opinions that do not necessarily go along with others. So that's unconventional. And when I thought about people kept telling me that you're too just by yourself and you just have your own opinions and you always have your own perspective on things, unique perspective
Okay.
that was not usually told the same line with others. So I decided to start like, okay, let me start talking about these things. Let me just put it out there. And I'm very introverted, and that's something that's quite weird. I don't like to socialize as much. And when people see my posts and they're like, oh, this person
Okay.
can talk and she's definitely out there, but I'm not like in real life. So it was very unconventional for me to start something that requires a lot of social skills in terms of relating with
Okay.
people, having, conversations with people, storytelling, I'm putting my face and self out there. It was a lot for me. And so I had to do that regardless. And so that's
Oh.
very unconventional for me. Yeah.
You made mention of about being introverted, and that's
Yes.
the craziest thing I've had to discover in my journey as a podcaster. In terms of
Okay.
like, I grew up in a big family, and but for
Okay.
yours, while researching for this, I realized you are part of a trio, you and your
Oh
two
my
brothers,
God. You really
and
went through my
trust me,
I
pal, we
did
did
my
the
post.
work.
You did research on me. Oh my God.
Yeah, so looking at
Crazy.
all of that, and for someone like me that from a family of
Yeah.
nine, I'm the last of the nine, and my
Oh, okay.
twin sister, yeah, my twin, late. My mom is late
Oh,
now,
you
but we
have a
grew up in a
twin
big.
sister.
My
Okay.
mom is late. Mhm.
Oh, I'm so sorry
All
about
right,
that.
I hope you can
The
hear me.
network was really bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I can
So
hear
I
you
said
now.
I'm from a family of nine. I have a twin
Mhm.
sister. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. So but my twin sister is late now. My mom
Oh,
is
I'm
also
so
late.
sorry.
Now
Wow, so sorry.
it's easy for someone like me because coming from a household that where you have a big family, everybody's
Yeah.
there, and I'm like the last one and everything. So you it's as if socialism is a part of you, like you that's what you know, like you have to be of service to everybody because you're the last.
Right.
And growing up, understanding the fact that I needed to be out there and everything, I realized growing up, like I've always been out there and everything. But in my adulthood, I'm like, oh shit, I love being inside and all. Then came the
Mm-hmm.
love for journalism, media, radio, TV. And I'm like, that's a job or that's a role that wants you to be out there. I mean, you can't be an event host and host it from your room. You can't be an event host
Yeah,
and host it from your house. You
100%.
need to be,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, you need to be out there with the
Yeah,
people. And for someone
yeah,
that like, oh,
100%.
I love my space, it's so tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how it is for
Yeah.
you to be able to navigate. Because I was thinking about, I'm like, this a duality kind of thing where you're like, okay, so how can I do what I love but still maintain
Yeah.
who I am? So can you tell me how you've been able to navigate that murky waters of understanding that okay, belly hat, I love to be on my own, but I understand job is to be
Mm-hmm.
out there and
Okay, so
how are you able to bridge the gap?
yeah.
If there's anything like that.
Yeah. Okay, so it's actually about striking a balance, right? This is who I am. I don't like to talk often. I'm not like an observer. I'm a writer. I don't know if you saw that on my bio. I'm a creative writer. So I tend to
Yes, you
express
are.
myself through writing. Yes, that's how I
That's
started, expressing myself through writing. And then it went off to like talking. So it's just about striking a balance. When I have a job to do, I have to do it regardless. And then I've come to realize that when I started doing event hosting, I realized that I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So it's like having that what's it called? That
it's fun.
free break time where you just go out there, do what you have to do, and
Okay.
then come back to your comfort. So it just felt to me like
Mm,
a time away, like a vacation. You know what? Let's do something out of the box. Let's do something. So striking a balance, knowing that okay, I like to be calm and I like to be reticent, but also I like to be out there, right? And then when I have to do a
yeah.
job, I get it done and go back to my shell. So it's just finding a balance so that because a lot of things if you stay in your comfort zone, there are a lot of things you can't explore because you're scared,
Hmm.
right? So you have to leave your
Yeah.
comfort zone. And there's something that I've always learned, and that is no flowers grow on like concrete, right? No flowers grow on concrete. You have to be able to morph. You have to be able to explore. You have to be able to get to your horizon. So you have to just put yourself out there. And then I told myself, you know what? I'm going to start a podcast. I don't care how I sound. I don't care if I'm shy. I don't care if I make mistakes. I'm just going to do it. And I literally started on the 15th day of February 2023. I think it's on my bio on my
Yes.
podcast page.
Yeah, you did.
So
Yes. Yeah.
yes, that's when I literally started officially. And it was really rough, but I just started it regardless. So I feel like finding a balance would always work if you have personality differences with what you're doing. It would always work, striking a balance. Yeah. So that's how I'm able to do it. It's not magic. I'm not Clark Kent and and then Superman, yeah.
Oh my
But
God. Belly hat, I'm just discovering something. While you were while
okay.
you were explaining that part, the very
Yeah.
first thing that came to my mind, I'm like, I've not, wait, wait. Belly hat, I need to give it to you. You are the first podcast host, the first podcast host I've ever had on the podcast in 6 fucking years.
Are you
Welcome to the podcast once
serious?
again. Because I'm like,
Thank you.
why you were explaining this, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you explained something that I'm like, why haven't I thought about this before? In terms of like, because we're trying to
Mhm.
navigate the duality of things
Yeah.
where you are an introvert, but you need to be out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is
Yeah.
this the Ben Bruce, Superman, Batman aspect of Ken Clark, or like
Yeah.
the Spider-Man? And
Mhm.
you just said it with the Superman reference. I'm like, holy shit! You never thought about the way you. All right, so
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see hosting events, being a podcaster as the superhero thing you get to do, but return to your yourself when you're done. And I'm like, I never thought about it like that way. Thank you so much for bringing that perspective out there because
You're
sometimes there's
welcome.
wow. It's so, I mean, thank you for giving me
Samuel,
that.
you're
That's
such a
amazing.
lively
I never really thought,
personality.
like,
You're actually a very
Oh,
lively
trust
personality.
me,
By the way,
this
guys, this
is
is
my
the first time I'm seeing him. This first time I'm talking to him at length. He's such a lively, a little bit dramatic, and I like drama. I like drama, so it's nice, conversing with you. Just that's an aside, by the
trust. I
way.
saw that in the one of the artist podcast. I was seeing the drama you were doing and some of your episode snippets. Come on, I mean, all
Okay.
right. Yeah. I see what you're doing. And I really we'll get into things. All right. So,
Yeah.
since this is a Chronicle podcast, I'm always very intrigued in wanting to know where this all started. So, understanding that I
Okay.
mentioned that you're part of the trio, you and your two
Yes.
brothers, and
Yes.
I see what you're doing with She Mission. I see what you're doing with the Wine of
Yeah.
Daddy podcast, and I see what you're trying
Hmm.
to do and everything. And I just wanted to ask, who, if you, for the viewers watching and anybody that's gonna listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Hmm.
wherever else they get to listen to us on, who would you say is Pearly Heart? Like, I mean, the can you take us around the childhood journey, the experiences,
Okay.
the woman we're having in front of us right now? How could you share a little bit of something for us to take on and be like, oh, okay, we know her now? Because most people want to
Okay.
feel related, most people want to know.
Yeah.
So who would you say Pearly Heart?
Okay, so Pearly Hat is okay. So I grew up, obviously, already, you said a few things. I have two brothers. I'm the first, I'm the only girl. And yeah, I have always been a very shy child, reticent, not really shy, but like very to herself. And I think I grew up like that. So even that's why 9 to 5 doesn't work for me, 9 to 5, and I quit 9 to 5 that last year. It didn't work for me because you know how 9 to 5 is. You have to always
Barely
constantly
you
relate.
quit a 9 to 5 job.
Yes, I quit 9 to 5 last year. I'm done with 9 to 5. So I just do
I'm
remote
going to
jobs and everything.
I'm pinning that comment because I need you to talk more on that, but please continue.
Yes, yes. So I'm not very sociable. I'm trying now. Like, I mean, right now it's not awkward, is it? Like we're talking and we're having
It-
conversations and yeah, it's not awkward.
mm,
So I'm doing my
it is not.
best. And yeah, I've always been I love books. Started off reading books that
Okay.
were not even for kids. I was a kid, but I was reading books like, adult books. When I mean adult books, let me clarify for those in the back. Adult books as in, grown-up books, books that are with high vocabulary, not
Yeah, that could
the
grow
random
the
Ada
mind.
was a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like Ada was a girl and then Ada did this and that, nothing like that. So I started reading novels. I think that's the
And
word
for
I'm
those that
looking
will,
for.
she's not sexual, get your man out the gutter.
Please get your minds out of gutter. So I think that's when my mom knew that I was going to be like artistic. So she would give me those two. I don't know
Okay.
if you remember those 2 A books, those 30 leaves book sleeves. What's it called? What's that thing called? The 30 leaves notebooks. We have 30 leaves, we have 60 and stuff like that. So my mom would give me like notebooks like that to, write my thoughts. And then I started writing. I think the whole thing I would
Okay.
write my thoughts and just write stories. I liked to write. And then, I started off with just writing. And then I started doing some spoken word. I went into poetry, just everything artistic. And then when it was time for me
Yeah.
to write WIAC, I think I was the only person in my school that wrote literature. I was a science student actually. I went as a science student because my dad wanted me to go into engineering. I was really good at math,
Okay.
but I liked
Wow.
English and literature. So I was the only person that wrote literature. And I've just always been artistic, And then, yeah, graduated English. I did a bit of law as well. I have a diploma in law. I have a bachelor's degree in English as well. I'm hoping to do my master's as well in law. So we'll see how that goes. Not in Nigeria, God forbid, but let's move on. But yeah, so
Not God forbid.
please.
Oh my God.
Mm. So yeah,
So
that's just it.
what
I'm just
what
okay.
well,
Go ahead, please.
listening to you, you made mention about are you the first child? I know you're the only girl, but are you the first child?
Yes, I'm the first child, only girl. Yes, we just look taller and bigger than our ages, but yeah, I'm the first and only.
Well, I need you to get out of here with that. You mean to tell me those two huge men I see there, you senior them?
I'm older than them. We're
That
all in
that's
our
crazy.
twenties. We're all in our twenties. Yeah,
Oh
they
my
have.
God.
We're all in, yes, we're all in our
What?
twenties. So it's crazy. Like They used to be really
What?
small before. I remember having to put like them a knock. Now I can't give them a knock because they're taller than me, they're bigger than me. So yeah,
Well,
genetics,
come
I
on. Like,
guess.
what is your mom and dad using? Is there something in the water that none of us got to take that they are taking? Like, come on.
I don't know.
Woo!
They're giants. I'm 5'11". The one after me should be like 6'4", and the other one is like 6'2", 6'3" ish. So I'm the
Yes,
shortest
I
one,
was.
but I'm not really short.
I mean, Pearl, I
Yeah.
had questions here about, you to tell me how it was for you being the littlest sisters, the small sister to two huge brothers. So I need to throw everything away
I was
because
all,
that's not gonna happen because that's not the story.
yes, that's not the story. That's not the story.
That's
Yeah.
not the
Well, all I'm
story.
saying is it's
It-
crazy. Like I have to keep explaining to people that please calm down. Nobody, we're still in our 20s and we're still young. It's just I don't know what happens. We look bigger than our ages,
wow,
so it's what it
that's
is.
amazing. Shout out to your two brothers. Shout out to your two brothers.
Thank you.
I
Shout
I
out
saw
Andre,
I
shout out
saw
Tracy.
yeah. I mean, I saw you celebrating your other brother. I don't know if that's the second one or the third one. That graduated
I
from the
have two
University of
brothers, so
Lagos.
just
Yeah, I know you have two
okay.
brothers. So one graduated from the University of Lagos,
Oh, first
current
class,
engineering.
yeah. That's the second one.
I mean, but I saw the way
Yeah.
you were just throwing in love and giving you flowers. I'm like, oh, I love that. I think that
Yeah.
was where I got the idea of like I need to ask about. Could you tell us a little bit about you and your brothers, the trio? Like, I mean, come on, like how was it? I was growing up with the boys and being the only girl. How were you able to
Oh
navigate through
my
this one? Because
God.
it could be crazy for some people.
It, yes, it was. It was. I always wanted a girl. I remember when the last one was born, that's the one I celebrated. I thought it was a girl
Yes.
because he looks like me. He had when he was born, he had like pink lips. He was light skin, girly. I thought it was a girl. I was like, oh my God, it was a girl. Like, it's a girl. My mom was like, no, it's not a girl, it's a boy, but he looks like you. And as a child, I kind of
Damn.
calmed down. But I'm thinking, why did I calm down? I should have pushed further. Like, what do you mean? But yeah. And then I used to dress them as girls. I remember I would put a wig, my mom's wig on their heads, and
Come on,
because I wanted a
pal.
girl so badly. And they're just like kids. So we have 2 years apart each, like 2 years. So
Oh,
yeah, so
that's
it was really crazy, and I really wanted just somebody like looks that could understand being a girl, but they didn't, and it's fine. But also on the flip side, I also enjoyed like the protection
yeah,
from having boys. They can't mess with
yeah.
me because my brothers are there, one to the left, one to the right, type shit. Excuse
Yeah.
my French, but yeah, so it was.
That's-
It was really, really good. I enjoyed the protection. And then as I grew older, obviously they got bigger and taller. And so it was always like, oh, that girl with the two boys, two bodyguards. So yeah, it was good. I was spoiled, silly, with protection and, love. Because, yeah. So I think that's why people get the whole, oh, she's like the youngest, probably, because they're bigger and
yeah.
taller and more and stuff. So I don't mind. You know what? Let's keep believing I'm the youngest. Just forget I told you all those stuff. Just keep believing I'm the
I,
youngest. I'm the
I
youngest.
mean, they can forget I'm not gonna forget that anymore. Not now. Because all right. So this is why I love what the space podcasting has provided because I could see a profile like yours, and I'm like, oh, I would want to communicate with her
Mhm.
and get to know. I mean, the dynamic that you're
Yes.
explaining now, and being able to build
Yes.
something like this and have the opportunity to. That's why I'm. If sometimes even in days I feel like, oh, I just can't do it anymore. I just look back to
Yeah.
days where I was able to sit down here and just laugh for a couple of minutes with somebody that I never knew and I'm
Yeah.
not sure I would ever get into communication with you, in touch or network with you ever
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
something like this was not possible, if I wasn't building something like
Yeah.
this. And having you on here
Mhm.
is something that I still feel I still need to give you your flowers. We see our belly as
Aw, thank
right
you.
here. And I heard you talking about your schooling. You did not school. I believe you did not school here in Nigeria. You talked about your diplomacy in law and also your bachelor's degree in English. Could you share more light on that? And because you also said you were a science student. So when did you make the switch and going through law and English? Like, I mean, have you always been? Because
Yeah.
we hear about people about staying in the box. Everybody wants you to you can't take 10 things or two things and climb a ladder. You have to focus on one and everything. And
Mhm.
I think while growing up, I've always known that I don't know about doing one thing. Or I've always been a kid that always
Mhm.
loved doing everything. I try to
Yeah.
of. But I always still get the notion from our elders. I mean, you can't climb, use one thing and two things and climb the other. But
Yeah.
yeah, you had diploma in law, you were a science student,
Mhm.
bachelor's degree in English, you're a podcaster, a TV host, and a voiceover artist. You write, you creatively write. I mean, come on, like, where did all of this come from? Where was the, how did you go from science to law to English to, I mean, come on, take me through it.
Okay, so I've always, like I said, liked books. I like to read literature, and I used to write,
Mm,
express myself through writing and everything. So when it came to like writing, like why, when you get to SS in Nigeria, that's senior secondary school, you will definitely have to
yeah,
choose a path if you're going to science, arts, or commercial.
yes,
So obviously, because my
yes.
dad wanted me to go into science, I was good at math. Like I said, I was good at further math. I was good at math. My best subject then was chemistry, surprisingly.
Okay.
Nobody could beat
Mm,
me at chemistry. Chemistry was my thing. I didn't like physics. So it was quite interesting how I wanted to just switch over to the arts. And when I remember telling my dad that I wanted to do arts, and he was like, "No, you could still do science. You're good at science, blah blah blah." And then I just rebelled, honestly. I rebelled and I decided to go for arts. And I wanted to go for law. A lot of people will say because my mom is a lawyer, but I think it's just I had a flair for it. I don't know if that's the word. I was very good at
yeah.
arguing points. I would argue with my dad a lot. Oh, the sky is blue. Why is it blue? Why couldn't it have been green? Why is this? I was always the person that would argue things in the house. And so that's why it's quite
Mm,
surprising that I'm the most quiet person, but also very expressive. It's a
mm,
juxtaposition, I guess. So yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah, so that's how it all started. And I remember just saying, you know what, I'm going to go for law and for uni, that's in Unilag, and then I was given English instead. So the cutoff was 11. I had 10 for the post UTME. And
Mm,
my dad is very strict. My dad was like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything like the other, parents are doing. You're going to do the English that you were given. And that's how I went to English. But I already had a diploma in law first. So more like a pre-degree, diploma in law, and then English, and hopefully a master's in law, fingers crossed. So that's how it all
that's
started. And I feel like to those people that feel like they're juggling things, because I know I was a young child, I was a kid, and it would have
mm,
been so hard for
yeah.
you to stand on what it is you want. And I know it's so hard because you're dependent, right? But I want to say out there, in case there are younger people watching, that it is important to know what you want. You can know what you want at a very early stage, and that's fine. Know what you want, stand on it, and tell your parents, respectfully about it, and see how that goes. And it's better than being forced into doing something you don't want to do just because you want to make your parents or your guardians or whatever happy. Do what it is you want to
Mm,
do and, ask for their blessings or their permission and stuff like that. So I'm just glad I did that. And I like to, like I said, nibble at different cakes. So yes, I nibbled in science, arts, now podcasting, event hosting. I think now these other things I'm doing now are kind of related to the arts. Podcasting, the event hosting, the voice
okay.
acting, voiceovers, they're all now
Yeah.
related. I've left completely the science world. So anybody that wants to take me on chemistry
Mm.
competition right now is going to beat me, but you can't beat me like 7 years ago. Okay? So let's just put that out there.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. And shifting gears to, I saw one of the I saw this while researching for this, and I couldn't stop but want to, get into things. So on the third on the sixth day of March 2021, you put out a creative post. You put out a post, talking about a loss of a friend. That, from what I was reading, at that time was 7 months to the day you were putting out that post on your friend
Yeah.
Sani Ayebuwan Abbas.
Yes.
And I read that, and that literally hit me like a ton of bricks,
Mm,
because I was like, I couldn't imagine what you had
mm,
to go through at that time. And I
mm.
wanted to use this opportunity to ask you to share more light on the write up and what happened, and if you would be willing, even after all of these years, to talk about it and to share with us and how that
Um,
affected you.
it's a very touchy subject, actually. I don't even know if I want to go
Yeah,
in there. I don't want to start crying right now, but it's a very touchy subject. So,
yeah,
it's just a creative friend I grew up with,
yeah.
same high school, and it was one of the few people that recognized my creativity in terms of art. And
Okay.
I'm still saying he is like, it's just
Because
crazy. He
let, let,
was
let, let, you could say is, because why I'm telling you this is since the loss of my mom, I still
Okay.
haven't. I think in my mind I'm like I realized for the months leading up to my mom's funeral and even being at my mom's funeral,
Mm,
I said I'm just doing all of this because these are the things that is needed. Okay, they say this is what everybody wants us to do, and I'm like, you all can
mm,
say your goodbyes. I will do the right thing and be here and do everything I need to do, but this person would forever is with me. So I don't it still always is to me.
mm.
I talk about my mom, I
Yeah.
say my mom is right there. So yeah, so
Still there.
I
Okay.
shared that mindset with you. You could I mean
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
I
So he was a creative person as well. He was a rapper, or is a rapper, whichever.
oh,
So I think I helped him in one of his, those, what was they called them? Is it ad libs? There's the beginning of a song where you hear like a female song, a female voice or something. I don't know what that's called in the music world. So I used to
oh
do
my
that for him.
music fans will murder me. Because I don't know that
You
too.
have no idea as well. Oh, okay. Well, the blind leading the blind. All right, cool. So, yeah, and he was just really talented, and it just because of the way he
Yeah.
went, the way he died, he was murdered. So it was
Mhm.
a
Oh,
crazy phase for me, and I think that's all I want to talk about because even up till now, we still don't know what happened. We still can't find or hold accountable the individuals that did that. He was stabbed multiple times, um,
yeah, yeah.
and he was just somebody that was so easygoing.
Mm,
And I you wouldn't, those people that are just so calm, quiet, just focus on their craft, could literally be walking on the road and playing his songs with his headphones and just being on his own, very fragile.
mm,
So I can't think of somebody wanting to hurt him. And he died like toward like days leading up to his announcement. He was about to win a major national award for his
that's
craft. I
crazy.
don't know if it was a competitors, whatever it is. I just don't want to go into details because I do not have all the facts. But it was a very trying time, and I'm still praying for the family. So that's all I can
Mm,
say on that. But yes, it's a horrible thing.
yeah. Sorry
Yeah.
for what you had to go through,
Let's
and
take
thank
a
you
sip
for
of
sharing.
this wine because you ambushed me with that one because I did not expect that you're going to talk about that. But
I
yeah.
mean, sorry, that's what we do on the Chronicle podcast. We try to profile everything we need to, and thank you for at least sharing because most times I
Yeah.
get to tell my guests like just be ready for any and everything. But at the end of the day,
Anything. All right.
when I post the
Good
question, I
stuff.
will still give you the out to say, okay, I don't want to get into that. I want to
Yeah.
get into that. I want to give it a little bit of
Mhm.
it, and I'm grateful you did give me something. Thank you so very much, and
Yeah,
I'm
you're
drinking with you here.
welcome. Yeah. I like that you're making your podcast really raw. Mhm. Yeah, so it's really nice. I like that you're making your podcast raw and authentic, so there's no room for like it's cool. Well done.
Yeah. Mm,
Maybe
thank you
next
so
time it will
much.
be me inviting you for my podcast. Yeah.
Oh, trust me, and I'm gonna get a wine just so that I know that I'm going for wine at this.
Oh, no
I'm
problem.
gonna be. I'm gonna. I will be ready for the tea. Whatever tea you want me to get in on, I'm gonna go in on with you.
No problem. Mhm.
All right. So, still on everything we're going to talk. So, Pelly had, getting to know you and navigating all of the things you had to go through. We could see how the family dynamic, the way you are as a human being, who you are, and how you are
Yes.
navigating through things and all. And you talked about, I wanted to know about your work life. You talked about quitting a 9 to 5 job.
Mhm.
Like, how did we even get there to, quitting and everything? And also, I love the fact that we know you for writing and researching for this. I
Yeah.
saw the majority of things were on writing, and I was like, so when did she make the switch to podcasting? And checking on the dates you did that. That's just I think shy away from I think 2 or 3 years now since you navigated into the podcasting
Yes.
world. And
Yeah.
I'm like, so I'm like, why would she want to? For someone that is so in to herself and everything, why would she want to do
Mhm.
podcasting? Why would she want to do this? And like, how is she even able to navigate all of this with a
Mhm.
job? Does and all this to be able to fund everything
Yes.
you have to do? You will
Yeah.
need money and
Yes.
everything. So how is she doing that? And now
Yeah.
getting to hear that you did 9 to 5 and you had to quit 9 to 5, and what are you doing now? So
Mhm.
all of these questions that someone would want to know, and obviously I'm in the chair here
Mhm.
and I want to know that. Could you just help me with that?
All right. So 9 to 5 in Nigeria is the ghetto. Anybody that's telling you right
Oh,
now, as it stands right now, anybody that is telling you that 9 to 5 in Nigeria is easy, that's a lie. like 9 to 5 in Nigeria is the ghetto. Like Nigeria is a cosmopolitan area and it's very busy. You have to sometimes wake up around 4 a.m., do what you've got to do. If because sometimes the
Mm,
jobs you get are not close to where you're staying. There's a lot of sacrifices.
yeah.
Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about the stress to go through. And I'm not trying to say that, oh, I'm not like well, I am a soft girl, but I'm not trying to say that I am, you know, incapable of, trying to work hard and everything. It was just too
Yeah.
much for me. That was number one. The whole stress every single day. Sometimes I work on Saturdays, sometimes I will work on Sundays. It was so stressful. I did not have personal time for myself. I
Yes.
couldn't record. I couldn't do all the things I wanted to do. And it also felt like I was funding someone else's dream. And like I told you, I've always been very unconventional in my thinking and in my opinions as well. I always thought that why am I trying
Yeah.
to improve someone else's dream when I could be building mine? And that's why it took me a long time to get into 9 to 5. And when I eventually did,
Mm,
I didn't even last so long. I think my longest 9 to 5 was about a year and a half. Yeah. And then I finally decided to quit 9 to 5 last year. And I feel like I wouldn't say you should, well, everybody differs, but I wouldn't say you should just not do 9 to 5. I like the experience. I'm glad to say that, you know what, I experienced 9 to 5.
yes.
But I just feel like I had no time for other things. The way I would do my podcasting, there was literally no time for me to record. No time. I would sometimes, in fact,
Yes.
it's not even 9 to 5 in Nigeria. It is 4 to 10 sometimes. Sometimes you're coming back home around 10 and you're asking yourself because the traffic, everything, the bad roads, you're coming home and you're waking up again 4 a.m. So where do you have that time to sit down, record,
To
edit, and all that stuff? I did
mm,
not have that time at all. And I was kidding myself. I was telling myself, well, maybe weekends. No, weekends, I'm trying to crash. I'm trying to sleep, like getting 5 hours of sleep. I'm trying to do my laundry. I'm trying to go for my religious activities. And so it's just a
oh,
whole lot. And I told myself,
yeah.
and this is all for someone else's dream. Like, and in Nigeria, it's not like they're paying you so much. If they're paying you too much, it's 400K. So I had to do a rethink. What do I want to do with my life? And
Yeah.
that's why I went into event hosting. Now, event hosting is like you don't necessarily, these are contract jobs. You don't have to sit down
Yes.
on the desk. You could go out, still socialize, do your work, and get paid like once and for all
Yes.
time, not having to wait 30 days to get paid, right? So, also
Yeah.
voiceovers as well. I do voiceovers for documentaries, ads, and stuff like that. It's just a one time payment, and I get to do it at the comfort of my home. And I still get paid to fund my other dreams. So that's how I
Yeah.
reasoned, and that's what has been working for me.
So at the end of the
Have
day,
we've normalized suffering. We've normalized suffering. Everybody suffers and is like, well, that's the next norm. Crazy.
I I tell myself one thing, Samuel Lion, you have to choose which bullets to bite. So
Mm,
sitting here with you, by October 29th this year I'll be turning 27. And I'm like,
okay.
I'm getting up there in age
October
and
as
everything.
well. I'm October, but mine is
And
second.
oh, okay, so give it up for the October bonds trying to navigate life. I mean, give it up. And I'm drinking to this. I'm chatting with you with this and that.
Okay. Okay. Cheers.
Because yeah, because nobody talks about like the craziness we have to navigate as young people in Nigeria, where you are
Yeah.
navigating through social media life. Because you see, people are succeeding without the 9 to 5. People in 9 to 5 are success stories too. You see everything. You see from content creators, from people that got lucky with get rich money scheme, people that got money with
Mhm.
lottery, people that are doing betting to get rich. Like everybody's navigating through. You are seeing success
Yeah.
in every different facet.
Even the ones that come from what's it called, Olodo uprising or whatever it
And
is
so you
that's
try,
trending right now.
yeah, you are trying everything, and sometimes the comparison game gets in because you are like you can't even stay in on what you want to do because you're like,
Yeah.
what if I don't succeed? The craziness of like, okay, would I even succeed? Would I even make it?
Yeah.
I was in university and I did a 9 to 5, and it's not even I can't call it 9 to 5 because I was working in the hospitality industry as an account clerk,
Okay.
and for 8 months I was navigating through paperwork and everything, and I'm here Monday to Fridays, most times on Saturdays and sometimes on Sundays, and I'm going there.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be there 8 to 5, but they want me to be there before 8. I want me to leave there, but they don't want me to leave there if not 11 a.m., 12 p.m. Like I'm like, what is, and they still want me to be back there in a couple of hours. And I'm like, where
Mm.
is me in this conversation? Where is my growth? Where is my
Exactly.
movement? How do I
Mm-hmm.
get to do what I want to do? And I had to
Mm-hmm.
push this away again. I started this during the pandemic, May 17, 2020,
Oh.
and it was going well.
Oh.
And I've been doing this audio wise for years. And every single time I will get a job, I'll get a
Wow.
business, I will post it, I will not do it. I will say, okay, let's see how I can record on weekends. And I'll never do it because I just want to sleep so that I can wake up the next Monday and go and do this job. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the cycle I have been navigating through.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
had to quit the job. I'm like, I just can't do it because it's just not possible. Grateful for friends that were like, okay, so, and I told my friends, this is how crazy it is, the survival mode. I had to text all of my friends, and I'm like, tomorrow you're not gonna like me, and they're like, why? And I showed them my resignation letter. I said, I have left my job. I don't know what to do. I want to go into. I still want to do my podcasting because that's the only thing that has been there, and I just don't
Mm-hmm.
understand how I can. Don't know anything. Like my friends were there. They held me. They held me through those times, and I continued with the podcasting. Now the business came in. I left the podcasting, did the business, every crazy with the middle people, the people that get the merchandise here, the business crash, back to podcasting. Now doing the
Wow.
business, I'm not podcasting. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going out. I'm not doing anything. And then I'll pause. And then fast forward again to another year. I'm getting a job. I'm managing somebody's home. I'm managing people's a contract for nearly 2 years and getting paid. And I'm
Wow.
supposed to be there 3 days a week. Before you know, 3 days turn to
Mm.
5 days, 5 days turn to 7 days. And when I was like the very first time, I'm like, I mean, come on, I need to to take myself out so I can do me. I can by 2023. I'm like, I want to launch into YouTube. I started the process. I started doing shows that I've not even some I've not even made aired on YouTube yet. All of a sudden I'm getting an email. Okay, so we're gonna cut your pay by 45%. And this is Nigeria. You're telling me because of
Oh,
economy. And I'm like, am I
wow.
living in China? Sorry for those in China, but I'm like, am I living in China? I'm also in the same.
Mm-hmm.
If you take 45% off a paycheck, I beg, how much is remaining for somebody like
That's
me
a
to
lot.
navigate?
That's a
And I'm about to do
lot.
content, I'm about to do this one.
Yeah,
And
that's a lot.
everybody told me if you respond to this email, you're gonna lose the job. You just have to. I'm like, someone, I'm going to take a 45% pay cut to do the same job for more days, and just because I need to wait until it's cool. And I'm like, that doesn't sit right by me. And before you know what's going
Yeah.
on, and I'm like, okay, could I don't want to take a pay cut, but I could take a delay in payment. But I want the payment to stay the same because I have structured my life based on this payment. And guess what, pal? They did not agree to that, and they let me go. And that was how
Wow.
I was
Okay,
in the
that
murky
was
waters for a couple of
wait, that was what you were talking to me about the other time. That's what you told me about, like
yeah,
texting them.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
That's
that was
so
how
sad.
I left. I was left in the murky waters, and this was me, pal. My house rent was had expired. Everything had been crazy.
Wow.
Not no income, and now no job. And I'm like, how am I gonna navigate through this? But I just don't want to take the pay cut. And I was told, go and find who will give you this pay this amount I'm about to off this new offer in this place. And I'm like, it was crazy. And that was how I was. And for a month or two, my friends once again coming through and helping me out in all of this. And Pearl, it got so crazy that I was on a phone call with somebody that literally told me that they wanted to start a business and that this da, 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 da. And before you know what's going on, I'm trying to consult for the president. Da, da, da. Before you know what's going on, Pearl, I'm consulting and I'm helping somebody else start his own business, a clothing brand business. And I
Mm-hmm.
took this as a motherfucker. This helped me. I was able to get I got a new home. I was able to pay for rent for a year. I was able to get more
Beautiful.
gadgets for my podcast. I was able to navigate through this. And for 7 months, I was just building and building and building. And they said they went
Mm.
ghost for 7 months. And I navigated this thing by myself. 7 months later, the business kicked off. Pearl, the clothing business was going well. I was reporting.
Wow.
I was now the manager. I was giving reports. Now, mind you,
Mm.
this isn't a business I would want to go in, but because this was what was helping me at that
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
and I'm
for
helping
sure.
somebody build a legacy. I was happy being a
Yeah.
part of the team. I was happy being a part of the dream, and I was doing that. Now, another thing has happened. I've abandoned my podcast again, yet again. I've abandoned it again to build somebody else's dream, and I'm doing a 9 to 5, and I'm working 7 freaking days a week, no break. We are open 6 7 days a week. I'm there. I'm going for shows. I'm doing PR. I'm going to radio. I'm doing content. I'm literally model shoots. I'm getting things done to get this business on. Our first month we did well, second month we did well, third month we did well, and I was shocked. Me, yeah, able to get a business to get $1 million sales in a coding business that I've never been on in our fourth month. I was proud. I was happy. And then came, obviously, we know that we always
Wow.
move past
So,
honeymoon phase, right? We'll move past honeymoon phase.
yeah.
And for 3 months, I kept on asking, we have to try new ways to restructure, because before we hit our rocks, let's get prepared for the rocky times. And nobody took me seriously,
Yeah.
because that's what happens when you are just part of the wheel. It's very hard for you to, everybody wants to like, so when we had our first bad month in September last year, and literally I got a phone call from my superior. He just literally went all in on me and literally just going flaying up, lock the goddamn place, return, the business is over. And I'm like, wait, what? Because of one bad month
Wow.
that we could have avoided if we tried to do things differently that I asked for, and the things that
Mm.
it was, I'm like, check the manager's report, the receipt. I have the receipts here. Let's that was it. And by
Mm.
October last year, I was told, get sell the business. He look is in Abuja. Is getting a new business started, and I'm like, that's what happens when you're part of somebody else's dream. And I'm like,
Mm.
and that was, it took me another 6 months to be able to get the sale of the business done, and we're able to get the business sold. And now, no job once again, no business, everything going crazy. The one constant thing that was always there is
Your
still the Chronicle
podcast.
podcast. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. And I'm like, this is me not having where to stay. Everything's just going crazy. And
Mm.
I'm like, I don't want to do no more 9 to 5. I don't want to go into any 9 to 5. But Pearl had to take a 9 to 5 so that I could, sustain myself. And I did that for 2 weeks. And for the first time in 26 years of my life, I said, fuck it. I left the net. I woke up there, I was ready for work. And I'm like, so even after all these years, I just can't even record an episode. I kicked off in December. I was doing consistently, and I was in
Mm.
February. And I'm like, I want to keep this going. And the job did not let me
Mm.
do it. I'm like, you know what? I don't know what happens next, but all I know is I'm not gonna go in there today. And I did not go to work, and I've never gone back there. And Pearl, I have been putting out
Mm.
content for 7 months. I don't even know how I'm getting
Mm.
it done, but I know for sure I'm living in my purpose. It's been crazy. So
Oh, that, um,
this is just me saying,
yeah.
I'm not sitting out here saying it's perfect yet. Trust me, if I'm
Yeah.
to go
Obviously,
all in
it's
on,
not. Yeah.
yeah, if I'm to go in and tell you everything, all I know is I just want to do the next right thing. And sitting down here to talk to you and for us to do it feels like the next right thing to do for today. So I'm living one day at a time. I'm not trying to just go and
Period.
grab the whole thing because it's crazy. And I
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
control the one I can control. And right now I can
Yeah.
control
As
being
it
on a
should
call with
be.
you and talking and having this podcast. So thank you
Wow,
so much for sharing
that's
that
such
with
a
me.
beautiful encounter and experience. Like, that's like shows resilience, you know. And I feel like the
I
next
mean,
big thing is just around the corner. You never can tell. The way you have had, good things come for you, and then again, something is just around the corner. So you shouldn't, stop what you're doing. Just keep at
yeah,
it. You
yeah,
also
thank
applied for the Podfest, right?
yes, I did. I did.
You
It was
applied. I
crazy.
think it's
Yes, I
closed
did.
now.
Yeah, it
I
closed.
think it
I
should be closed
applied on,
now because they extended the time.
I believe I did
But I
two
think
weeks
it's
ago. I applied a week or two ago.
mm, that's nice. I can't wait to see it. All the best. But you'll
Yeah,
definitely be
thank you.
coming for the Podfest this year, so we should, say hi.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna work on that.
But
Talking
yeah.
about the
Mm,
Yeah, talking about the next big thing. All right, so it's been almost a year since that massive win at Port Fest Niger. Um, I mean, come on, I saw everything. So when you look back at holding the plaque and the check,
yeah.
how
Yeah.
how has the weight of being Nigeria's next big podcaster changed the way you approach
Nigeria's
your craft?
first, Nigeria's first next big podcaster. Let's just put it out there. The
Please,
first.
I need to I mean, I'm sorry for that.
Restate that,
How has
please.
it been? How has the weight of being Nigeria's first next
First.
big podcaster winner changed the way you approach the craft?
It has really, because now I was in the limelight, so to speak, because I mean it was on the newspapers, it was on TV, it was televised, and it was publicized. So I've been able to meet some really great contacts. I've been able to do some networking. I've been able to meet people that I've always wanted to meet. I've been able to like have conversations with Frank Edoho, people like Frank Edoho, Tunde
Definitely.
Onokoya, and people like that. So it's just been able to, expand my network. And I've also been moving with the Movement Studio, pun intended. We've been doing some works. So it just has, broadened my horizon, so to speak. So I feel like anybody that's trying to apply for that would definitely find it very resourceful, find it very beneficial. So you should just do it. And when you said something earlier that really caught my attention when you said that you felt you're not good enough, you felt you're not ready. Listen, child,
Mm,
you have
yeah.
more experience under your belt than I do. I mean, you said you've been doing this for like years, audio, before the video thingy came out, before podcasters for
For
creators came
6 years.
out and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
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 that's a long
yeah.
time, Joe. That's a long time. I literally started in 2023. So, I mean, it's not about, you should have that confidence to wanting to do it first. And it's not about, oh, am I good enough? Can I speak well? Can I tell good stories? Tell your own stories. I think that's what they're looking for. The authenticity and also like the confidence as well is very important. So I think you have that, and
Mm,
I'm wishing you all the best, really. I'm wishing you all the. I've had a lot of people that reached out to me, wants to do interviews like this. I've also had people that are also trying to, apply as well, asking me for tips and things like that. But really, like I said, it's just to be
yeah,
authentic because they would always know when you're putting out the front, when you're shy. You need to be more confident, and yeah. So
yeah.
see you guys at the top, I guess. Yeah.
So, but in terms of like those reaching out to you, still on the Podfest, and obviously
Mhm.
the next big podcaster, right? So, have you had people reach out to you? Obviously, because the registration portal has been, I believe it's
Yes.
closed by now. But have you done, obviously, because as a podcaster, I was like, I need to get in touch with the first ever winner, and I would love
Yes.
to be able to communicate. It wasn't necessarily about wanting to get tips, because I was like,
Oh, my battery's
this is
about to
something.
die. Yeah.
Oh my God! So like to get things in there, to
We
do
have to
more of
wrap
like
up.
the, yeah, to wrap up there, to the advert and all. So like, have
Yeah.
you had people reach out to you on this, and how have you been able to navigate? Have you been on other people's shows trying to promote this? Have any of the people that wants to get on reach out to you on this? What's going on? Are we the first
Okay,
podcast
so
to have you on?
yes. Yeah, I know actually, even before when I just applied, when you get to the first stage, the top 15,
Yeah.
I had many people reach out to me to do like interviews. I think I did a Twitter live with one of this. Oh God, I'm feeling so sad. I've forgotten the name. So they're kind of like a platform for podcasters, like how okay, Louder, yes, Louder. I don't know if you've heard of Louder.
Oh
So
yeah.
they have a platform
Yes,
where you
I
can
yes
post
I
on
have.
your.
I have. Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
they
yeah.
invited me. So we did a TikTok live. That was even
Okay.
before I won. That was the 15 top, the semi-finalist thing. And so I've also had some people reach out to me. I just do like random little interviews. And then even today, I had a girl reach out to me that she also has a podcast. She's just like starting now. She's been like maybe 6 months in or something. And she wanted to ask for tips and advice on how to, apply for the Podfest Niger and stuff like that. So yeah, but I think what's it called? Proper podcast. I think it's you, the first one that I've actually granted. So yeah, clap clap clap.
Thank you for
So
giving
yeah,
us
yeah,
that
it's
opportunity.
a delay. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, so all right, Pearl. So thank you so much, because I mean I did not expect
Thank
to take much of your time,
you.
but that's what happens when you're connected with people. So this is the last and
Yeah,
final
that's
question. This is
fine.
how
Okay.
I send people home with this question. So Pearl
Okay.
Heart, if this was the last time you ever communicate with anybody, and I am the person that have the opportunity to talk to you, for the
Yes.
viewers watching and anybody listening, what would you want us to never forget about Pearly Heart?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Now I have to really think. Um, I don't want you to forget that I'm a very strong-willed person. I mean, given everything that, aligns with everything I've said that aligns is that from how I had a mind of my own at a very early age till now is that I'm strong-willed. I don't
Mm,
want people to forget that Pearlie Hat is somebody that when she sets her heart or eyes, on
yeah.
something, she would definitely take it. I'm a taker. That's who I am. I'm going to take. That's it. I'm strong willed and I will take it. It's mine for the taking. So don't forget that. Pearly Heart is a taker. Thank you.
And, and ladies and
Why are you
gentlemen,
giving me
you
that
can take.
look?
Yeah, because I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, you can take that. That was Pearly Heart here on the Chronicle podcast. Thank
Thank
you so very
you
much for
for
joining
having
us.
me. Thank you so much, Samuel. Keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to see you at the top. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You